This stomach zone, wrapped around the helix root, gradually gives way to the organ localization of the duodenum and ileum. The further sections of the intestines are not visible in the lateral view of the auricle, since they are concealed by the ascending helix and cannot be recognized until the ascending convex portion of the helix is examined from posterior. Directly behind the beginning of the helix root, we find the point of the appendix at the transition from the small intestine zone to the colon area. We note that this point is primarily used in relieving possible disturbance fields of the internal appendix scar, but never in treatment of acute appendicitis. The reflex localizations of the colon arch down to meet the boundary where the antihelix merges into the base of the helix wall. As anatomical topography would suggest, it is here, in the immediate vicinity of the localization of the coccyx, that we find the reflex point for hemorrhoids. We can use a mental extension of the helix root to the opposing antihelix wall for an arbitrary division of the cavum concha into an upper section, the semiconcha superior or superior concha, and a lower section, the semiconcha inferior or inferior concha. In the superior concha, in addition to the organ localizations already mentioned, we also find the following localizations. The reflex localization of the pancreas is a point or small oval on the right ear, immediately cranial to the duodenum zone, and is located on a mental line which bisects the angle between the helix and antihelix. This point is identical with the spleen point on the left ear. If we follow this bisecting line another 2 to 3 millimeters towards the cranial anterior, we find on the right ear the resonance point of the gallbladder. The point of the bladder can then be found at the same height as the localization of the lumbar spinal column region, L2 to L3, directly at the foot of the antihelix wall in the surface of the superior concha. Starting from the throat point, a small area can be followed caudally, representing the trachea. This area spreads out gradually in an arch distally into the area of the inferior concha. This area has resonance to the lung parenchyma and is centered around the lowest point of the concha. Next, moving further distally, we find the area of the liver parenchyma. If we observe the manifestation of the reflex localization, the localization of the liver is primarily on the right ear. Concha, autonomic nervous system. The